All right, so I'm recording. Thanks everybody for joining. Just to introduce myself, my name is Aaron Tackle. I probably haven't met most of you. I noticed that most people on the call are from the mainland. Prior to May this year, I was a development officer with BC Rugby based on the island. I'm in Langford and did most of my work on Vancouver Island. Since May, Tony Leclerc has left us and taken a job with Saanich Fire Department. So I have taken over the role and will be looking after the U15, 17 and 19 age groups for boys rugby. The girls rugby will be looked after by Darcy Patterson, who will be doing an equal role to me on the girls and women's side of rugby. So just to power through some of the information tonight, the agenda that I sent out, the one thing that I did send out on the agenda was to review registration numbers. I wasn't able to get into our registration system and have a look at exact numbers. Perhaps I will send an email out and just request you or your club secretary or registrar to send me over some numbers. We are only a few weeks away from making a start to the season. I wanted just to explain some, for those of you that weren't at the AGM, I did present on some of this. But for those of you that weren't there or haven't had the opportunity to be part of the discussion, maybe I'll just get that ball rolling. I have done a draft schedule with the help of Darcy, and so we'll just review some of that. So the age banding last year did involve a triple age band for boys. So we were U16 and then a triple age band jumped to U19. Some of the information that came back from surveys of club representatives indicated that the preference would be to go back to an odd double age band. So as you all know, it will be a 15, 17, 19. Hopefully you've had this graphic. It all went to your club presidents. So this is the structure of the season for this year and some information. If you need to send it on to your coaches and to your registrars and to your parents and players. This page just gives you some of the feedback that was sent from me to BC Rugby in regards to why the change was made. The bold writing is probably some of the stuff to focus on. So the double age band was a preference to most clubs. U16 players on the boys side of things were very apprehensive in making that step up from U16 to U19 in a triple age band. Player exemptions are still available to everybody if there is a case-by-case basis for players to move up or down in an age band. We're able to do that, and you can find those forms on the BC Rugby website. The major thing that I want to refer back to is a document we sent at the beginning of last year when the age bands changed. Was the wording, following the 2018 club season, age banding will be reviewed to assess the impact on player and coach experience, along with the numbers in growth, with a plan to transition to odd age banding structure for the 2019 season. So that is what we've done. We haven't seen a significant growth in numbers of players and coaches in our junior age boys teams. So therefore, we have transitioned to that odd age band structure for this year. This was the structure that was presented at the AGM, an outline of the season. Some of the other feedback that came was a number of defaults, especially in the U19 age category, from teams that had every ambition to have teams in leagues. But in reality, when it came down to it, teams were defaulting due to a number of different reasons, just not having the registered amount of numbers. So the recommendations made start with a transitional tens period for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 week at your clubs to learn the game, and then 3 weeks of tens so that we can transition into a skill-based development model, which will then transition into the competitive 15 season. Some of the other highlights in there, the Thanksgiving weekend is normally a bye. The Kamloops Sevens tournament will run again this year. Darcy is aiming at about 750 players involved and an expansion for the boys side of things. If you are interested in registering for that tournament, please Google BC Rugby Kamloops Sevens and you should come up with a registration page. That is open and ready to go. As with all registration for all mini and junior age 2019, those are open and ready to go. The final thing in the middle there, just to clarify, this year, Rugby Canada, in conjunction with Rugby, have identified for male players for the age groups of U17 and U19. There will be a best in BC or a top 50 camp, which will take 50 players potentially out of league play. So that will essentially be a buy or an opportunity for clubs to pick up friendlies or exhibition games, just in case you are, if you do have a number of players from your club which are removed from your team to attend that camp. That actually doesn't apply to the 15 age group, and I'll go through the scheduling in a second. The final thing to note is December for the provincial final. As traditionally we've had a mainland and an island representative in the provincial final. There are some plans in place to have all provincial finals at the same location, which is West Hills Stadium. And because of that travel and to build a larger event out with the U15, U17, U19, and potentially a senior men's provincial game against Pacific Pride, we'd like to have those games back to back and have the opportunity to play those at a large stadium under lights. It'll also negate the possibility of a rain out with a turf field. So stay tuned for that. But there is the potential for the provincial finals this year to be played on a Saturday, with all the other fixtures this season played on a Sunday as per usual. So getting into the schedule side of things, please be aware this is a draft with those people that have declared teams at this point. There were a couple of latecomers. So I've mentioned the Kamloops Sevens that sign up is available. I've mentioned the BC Top 50 camp. It will take place in Burnaby. It is by invite only, and those invites will be out by mid-September. Possible late additions to the scheduling. I've received emails recently from Richmond, Rich Meadows, and Chilliwack. They haven't been factored into the schedule just yet, but I will look into that just because they're latecomers to that and they missed the declaration deadline. Also, to be aware, I did get the request from Burnaby for a buy on the 27th, which hasn't been factored in yet. But Simon, if you're on the line, or anybody from Burnaby, I will follow up with you on that. So just years here, the schedule side of things, you will receive this document as it is right now, just to give you an idea of how it's laid out. The top box will show you the teams that have declared to date. The second box will give you an idea of the 10-a-side schedule for the first 4 weeks of the season. So we can get your clubs. And the way we've tried to do it is by grouping regions together to minimize transportation and costs. So I'll send this over to you so that you can have a look. I don't expect you to write it down and remember it now. But again, we're trying to group some clubs together to minimize transportation. The other thing is you also have to be aware and cognizant of space in line with the mini and schedule and the girls' schedule happening at the same time. And that will then transition. Likely there will be less changes in this 10-a-side schedule. There may be more movement in the 15-a-side schedule. So I will send this out to you. So this document will have the U15 boys, the U17 boys, and finally the U19 boys. As much as possible, we've lined up the U17s and U19s. So if your club is traveling, for example, if you look at week one side schedule, you've got United and Burnaby. On this one, you will also have United and Burnaby. That will help you with club resources, whether it's coaches, managers, things like that. So bear with us. There will be some changes to this, no doubt in my mind. But I will send you the first draft. Finally, a couple of other things to pick up on. Coaching minimum standards. Again, I'm fairly new to this role in regards to working with some of you. But just to let you know that if you are looking for coaching courses, if you need coaches that need to take a level 1 or level 2 or the NCCB equivalent, Chris Asmus is now our rugby education manager, and he will be in control of all of the what we're calling education courses, where you pick up a qualification. He is putting together a calendar, and he will share that with clubs in the near future. But outside of that, if you are enforcing with your coaches, if you visit the Rugby Canada Play Smart website, which I think I've got open here. So the Play Smart website will direct your coaches to the Rugby Ready passport site and also a concussion management site. Those, I believe, are the minimum standards with BC Rugby for your coaches. Everything that they need is here online. And while I'm on this page, I think it's important to note, a lot of you may have been aware that provincial teams this summer, we did implement some age grade law variations. Those are passed. Those will not be in effect for the games. Standard age grade law variations will be back in place for all of our league play and those 10-a-side games. I have sent out to all club presidents the World Rugby 10-a-side law variations. So if you don't have a copy of those, you can either go into this laws tab and research it yourself. Please let me know and I will send that over to you. So I'm going to unmute everybody. And if you wish to post some questions, please feel free. Are there any questions on the information that's been presented? Okay, last chance. Any questions on the information that's been presented so far? If not, this video will be available. I will make a PDF file of the schedules to date. I can't emphasize it enough. Please remember that there may well be to this document, and please don't take them as gospel at this moment in time, but it will give you an idea of what Darcy and I are looking at for the schedule. The 10-a-side games will be easier to manage. The 15-a-side games may well change slightly. Okay, as I said at the beginning of the meeting, if you have got any questions, you don't want to speak out in front of the group, please email me. Also on my email signature is my phone number. I am currently on a 2-week vacation. So if I don't get back to you immediately, please forgive me. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But if there are no further questions, that's kind of everything I have for you at this stage. And if you have any other questions, you can, like I said, you can email me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron.
Okay,
Thanks, Aaron.
Enjoy your evenings.
Take
Thanks a
care.
lot.